Right. I'm gonna remove. Yeah, I'm gonna do the same thing I did with Chiu, which is means I'm gonna remove the headphones. You can talk nonsense, yes. And if Dina wants to, okay. I'm I'm flexible.
if you guys were following it before, but the score right now is 1-1. Nikola versus all the adopters. Is it the right word to say? Adopters. So yes, Nikola avoided the adoption versus Chiyu, aka Nimsko, and he did get adopted by Man Hambleton. Actually, the quality of the match was really incredible. Nikola was really close to mating Aman. That was really enjoyable match to watch, the same as the first one, and I'm really excited to see how this will go. Dina?
Yes, thank you very much, Maria and Nikola, for making this proposal. Well, proposal is not the right word. I know it's more about marriage, but I'm very excited to have a match today versus Nikola. I really hope that he will get adopted this time as well.
That's very blunt.
Yeah, and I also hope that you, Maria, will help me with this out. All your talents of speaking and more precisely trash talking, so disturbing him and all. So yes, I'm very excited, and I really hope for that we will see some good quality games, and we'll be able to have fun and learn something from it.
All right, so let me put it this way. It looks like I'm about to be ganged up on, but that's fine. That's part of the match. This is the third installment of Adopt Nikola series. Dina needs to win 10 games in a row. There is one attempt, bounty is $250, and there is actually a dare, which I think involves Dina's sister, if I'm not mistaken. Is that what we agreed to, or what's where we ended up on a dare part? Not that dare will come into play, but
well, yes, I think that that was our agreement, more or less, and my sister will be happy to show her singing talents as well.
okay.
So I think that was an agreement.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Dina, and a big shout out to Dina and her sister, and a big shout out to Martinez the Great, who just raided with a party of 4. Thank you so much. And if you guys are not familiar with Dina, Dina is a fellow chess streamer. She just had a very successful masterclass yesterday that I really enjoyed. And she is a friend of the channel and a great lady. As for Maria has agreed to commentate this match again, for which I'm very grateful. Her Twitch handle is PhotoChess. She's WFM, a very strong chess player, and also probably the best chess photographer in the world. Please give her a quick shout out to Maria. All right, so.
Thank you, Nikola, so much. You keep really flattering me, and that means a lot. But Nikola is also supporting so many channels, especially female streamers, and it's really greatly appreciated. And we would not be streaming at least that much if it was not for you, and it means really a lot. Thank you so much. And this matches, of course, is a cherry on top of everything that is happening on Twitch these days. It's a high quality chess, and it's really exciting to watch.
Thank you, Maria. Okay, so we can, as I'm ready to start. The time control is 5+2. Games are unrated, and I can send a challenge to Dina.
Yes, and it's worth mentioning for those who might not know, adoption means winning 10 games in a row without any draws, without any loss. So Dina has a tough challenge of winning 10 games straight in the same time control against Nikola.
Well, Dina is a very strong player, so we'll.
You can start trash talking, Nikola. It's allowed here.
That's fine. All right, 5 plus 2.
Do we make a break in somewhere in the between, or do we go straight forward till the end?
Yes, if we go until that many games without Dina failing to win, then there will be a break. We can do it after 5 games, or as you guys prefer.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that this, we can have a break after 5 games. I think that's fine, or whenever we agree to. This is obviously not a hostile match. This is a very friendly match, so we can make a break whenever.
Is it, Dina?
Well, right now, yeah, I've been rethinking all the conditions, and I decided that coming back to our topic, which we started with before we went on live, I will probably just put my headphones off and will close my mouth in order to concentrate better.
Yeah, Nikola seems very serious, and I bet he did some research and did prepare for play today. It will be very exciting to see this theoretical battle and the rest as well.
Okay.
So shall we start?
Oh, thank you for the cheers, CJ back. That's very greatly appreciated. And this match also has a little history. I think Maria and I did a review of Dina's website, which is dinabelenkaya.com online, and then Dina sent, I think she sent it to Maria via Twitter and Discord, a challenge to a match. So, in many ways, this there is a little bit of a background to this match that's also very interesting. So, all right, we're ready. I'm taking my headphones off.
Okay, so do I.
Okay.
Right.
Serious. Okay. I need to follow Nikola. Right. I should be following him now. Not yet. Don't see the game yet. I think they are having some trouble challenging each other. I'm pretty sure I followed him. Right. Yeah, I did follow. Can you guys see the game already? Dina is not allowing the challenges of the players lower than 2200. I'm sure she will. I think Dina has a restriction on her challenges at the moment. That might be the issue. Dina, do you have a restriction on the challenges? Is there something like not less than 2200 might be?
Yes. I think I did this some months ago.
Okay.
Before
you can challenge Nikola directly. It's Nikola_Stoichin.
Yep. I'm going to put it in your chat, Dina. Actually.
And then I just probably, mute my Zoom after when we start, right?
Correct.
Okay. So it's what is the command?
All right, so I'm gonna put this in your chat. Let me do that.
I got the first part and I forgot the last.
Okay, yeah, Chess Noob also posted it in your chat.
Okay.
Yep. Okay, I of course got the challenge from somebody else.
Yeah, no worries. Even in our women's speed chess championship, this happened yesterday, 2 days ago. That's normal.
That's funny. Oh no, this is a chat. The username.
And meanwhile, we have more than 2,000 people tuning in to watch. No pressure, guys.
Okay.
So I go to the live chat and then I go to the chat or friends.
I actually still have power.
But we did play a game already in chess.com.
Correct.
And it was you challenging me, so
why don't I try to send another challenge and see if you get it.
Okay.
All right. There we are. Okay. I am. It's challenge sent.
Yes, now I see it. 5+2, right?
Yes.
Yes, unrated, right?
Unrated, okay.
Yeah, I'm taking my headphones off.
Okay, so do I, and I put my mute.
Muting my mic.
Okay, they are in a serious mode now. Both muted, both not hearing me. That's the real dedication. Now the game is started and Nikola is playing white in the first game, starting with e4, and it's a Caro-Kann. I've seen 100 Caro-Kanns probably so far in WSCC. For some reason, it's a very widely used opening in blitz games in the ladies chess. And Dina is playing. Okay, so I think Nikola is planning to play tile variation, but I'm not sure if it will work here. The idea is with the pawn h4. We'll see. We'll see what will he play. Also, let me greet every one of you who tuned in. We have more than 2,000 people watching, and I welcome all of you in this adoption match. If you missed the start, I will tell you once again. So Nikola Stoyshin is a very big friend of all the streamers in chess on Twitch. He has been supporting chess on Twitch for over 3 years. He watched the biggest streamers rising from zero basically, and he was supporting all of us along the way. Hey Alon, hey Dirkie, hi Chesnoop, hi hi everyone, hi Anne. So Nikola started streaming himself last autumn, and he keeps supporting all of us. He organizes a lot of very nice matches, and now he also started doing matches himself, and he did admit that it's very nervous. It made him very nervous in the first match that he played against the streamer who just started a month ago streaming on her own, but she did already have a lot of streams under Bota's live channel, aka Nemsko Chiu from Canada. She is also a WGM, and In the first match, Nikola managed to avoid being adopted. So the adoption match is 10 won games straight. You need to win all 10 games in a row without any draw. So once Dina fails to win a game, the adoption attempt is over. Apparently, they also have a dare, but there is also a bounty that Nikola is going to provide in case if he is adopted. Obviously, Dina is not losing anything in this match, but it doesn't mean that she will not be determined to win in this game. Now she goes for a very common idea to take on g3, get rid of the bishop, get a bishop pair, and to double the pawns. So now after developing her dark square bishop, she might go for getting this c4 square, but we'll see how she does that. Two bishops, what else exactly? Both players are underdeveloped still. Both kings are in the center, so the game can quickly become out of hand. Therefore, it's also important to maintain time. But they're playing 5+2. It's still a lot of time to think, and there shouldn't be any rash decisions here. You can watch the stream in multi-Twitch link that is provided here in the chat. You can watch all of the three streams together. So both Dina and Nikola are streaming right now as well. Also, there is another dab request, right? Of course. What else to do when you are commentating a match rather than a dab? Yes, feel free to ask questions if you don't understand anything. I will be happy to explain. Meanwhile, we have queen straight, which means it's quite likely that the players will now forget about castling and keep the kings in the center. Dina has a choice between king takes and bishop takes. She probably is thinking about moving the bishop to the a4 or b5 square. The bishop on c6 also looks quite pretty, defending the d5 pawn. Now she's preventing the rook from going to d1. No, I've never played Dina. I retired from chess before she came into professional chess, so we never met at the board. Hi, Kitty Kitty. Hi, good to see you. Hi, DK. And I'm sorry if I missed anyone's hello. That's Latin Kiss, Ricky, Christian. Hi. If I missed anyone, I'm sorry. We were setting up the stream. Hi, okay, tested as well. And yeah, thank you again, CJ, for the beats. You think Nikola is winning this first game? It's hard to say. Of course, Black has this weak square on b6 and a weak pawn, but it's hard to get there. It's very hard to get there. And after this move, he might be... What? Let's see. What was in case of taking the bishop? She had this idea of bishop f6 here with the threat of e4. She castled, and after knight b3, there is still bishop f6, but she plays d4 instead. Now knight is quickly jumping to a5, attacking the pawn on b7. But can you take it? She could have done bishop b6 here. She decided to trade. And now she took the pawn. But now she takes another pawn. Yeah, that was a typical tactics here. If pawn takes, then rook takes the knight. Nikola had this tactics as well. He could have taken on d4, and if black takes e takes d4, then this bishop is lost. So he had a chance to take the 2 pawns, at least 1 pawn back. Now the bishop needs to leave, otherwise rook c4 is coming. Nikola is playing with white. Yeah, I think because of my chat, you might not be able to see. But yes, Nikola is playing with the white pieces. Let's make it slightly bigger. These 2 pawns might become very dangerous soon, and Dina is probably looking how to push them. Nikola, on the other hand, needs to put the rook on b3, attacking this bishop, so he can move the other rook away. The cat was commentating as well, true. But now she has rook a7, winning the knight. The rook is undefended on b1. Playing rook b3, he was putting the rook under protection of this pawn. Now the knight is lost, unfortunately. And she even keeps this pawn after rook c7 because the knight is also pinned. Time is also an issue, but this was the case in many matches before that. At the first games he was a bit nervous.
All right, that was actually a very good game.
It was, yes.
All right. Congratulations, Dina. That was very well played.
You also had an idea of taking the pawn when the bishop was on b4. Mm-hmm. You could have taken knight d4, e d4, rook d4, and the bishop is pinned. So you could have taken the 2 pawns back with the same idea of a pin. But
what was the moment?
I will tell you which move it is that. Okay. The bishop is on b4. The move 27. That was a nice tactics as well.
So you suggest what move do you suggest in 27?
Knight takes d4, and if you take, then rook d4, and the bishop is pinned.
Nice.
That's very pretty.
Gotcha.
Yeah, this rook a4 was not the right direction for sure.
No, I missed that.
Bishop c3,
okay.
Yeah.
As usual, Maria always sees this stuff.
It's easy from my position. I have cats.
Y'all.
Okay. All right. Not a bad game.
No, very nice. Yeah.
All right. All right. So you want to send a rematch?
Yeah, sure. So like, do we discuss a little bit after each game in the future, or do we go straight forward till 5?
Well, it's up to you. We can just play
For me,
straight through. I think it's useful for the audience for them to hear a little bit of commentary after each game. But
okay, okay, great, okay. So I'm taking back my headphones after.
Yeah.
each game. Okay, perfect.
So I'm waiting for a challenge.
Yes.
I've muted myself. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Sepper. Thank you, Chestnut KZ. Well, one game down, still 9 to go. I think we'll see how it goes. Thanks.
Yeah, that was actually a very good quality game. So, except for one blunder that the rook on v1 was left undefended after this move here. He needed to play rook b3. Everything else was really good. So I have faith in Nikola. Chat, what do you think? How many games do you think Dina will win in a row? I think okay, the game has started. And we see king's opening. So the Scotch. Do you guys prefer to watch for white always, or for Nikola, or for Dina? What's your preferences? We can do actually always from white side, so we don't have suggestions that we're rooting for someone. Okay, yeah, let's do white. Since especially we have the clock showing white at the bottom. Scotch is actually quite a good opening. It's tricky, and I am actually surprised that Dina took on c6. This is considered not the best continuation for white, since they always try to keep the pressure in the center. With knight c6, they easily give up the punct d, the square d4, and they help black to play d5 with the support of the pawn from c6. The two most common variants after knight c3 are bishop c5 and bishop b4. But it's always the idea to play d5, which he, of course, immediately does once he is given the option. So black has no problems in this opening so far. So yeah, we have a poll. Will Dina adopt Nikola or not? Feel free to vote. She's playing actively with c4, but it's not a problem at all. Now black can play d4. They can also trade and open the files. Personally, I probably would go for d4 and c5, having a potential passer in the center. It is not so easy to play against a WGM. She is experienced, but she became a WGM in classical games. You cannot get the title for just playing good in Blitz. So we'll see. But of course, Dina so far is managing her time quite well. Now it's her turn to think. So she's taking on d5. Nikola has to take on d3, otherwise he is giving up a pawn. Because after queen d3 he has c6 and the pawn on d5 is pinned. And he does not take, but then what was the idea behind the bishop a6? Maybe he still wants to take this pawn away, but now white is untangling from this. Now he has c6 again. Now he has c6 again. After developing the last bishop, white is with a healthy pawn up. Of course, there are still some issues for white because of the potential attacks on g2 square. They don't have the knight defending the king on the king side. But might have a potential initiative because of the bishop pair. Now if white manages to put the pawn on c4 defending this pawn, they will be prevailing. Okay, again. Talent short, I am not sure what is the rating of Nikola at the board. It really depends which tournaments are we talking about. Maybe his USCF rating is about 1900. So chat thinks that Dina is not going to adopt Nikola. So I think Dina might be thinking whether to take this knight or not. But if she does not, then the pawn is falling. The knight is not pinned anymore. So the knight d5 is coming. Yes, we have nearly 3,000 people watching. Isn't that great? Welcome, welcome everyone. Let's have a great time watching this adoption attempt. So far, it's 1-0 in favor of Dina, who is trying to adopt Nikola Stoichin. And I think most people in the chat are against the adoption. Of course, this is a friendly match, but there is also a bounty and even a dare. So now Nikola needs to move the bishop away, which he does, because otherwise there was a queen b1 coming, pinning the bishop and winning the piece. So by taking on f6, Dina removed one attacker on the pawn that was crucial in defending d5 pawn. She doesn't mind him taking the rook on b3 because she will take obviously with the pawn, getting rid of one weakness in her pawn structure. The pawn on a2 potentially might be weak. Rook d6 might be a little bit passive. Maybe playing rook d8 was better, or even rook e8, potentially after queen e5, getting some counterplay with the e file. Now the pawn was pinned. He could have played c6 again. The rook was undefended on d1. And now Dina is probably thinking whether to take the pawn on a7 or not. After c6, she will have some rook b8 attacking the king. Oh, but now it's a mate. Now it's a mate. If now rook b8, rook g8, queen a8, and she's winning. He should have played c6 instead of taking on d5 immediately. Now it's a mate. He is going to resign here. Here, he should have played c6, probably immediately, because the rook is pinned. Even here, c6 was fine as well. But then bishop can take on f7.
Yeah, the bishop a6, yeah, probably it's very friendly. Little bit too much friendly.
Oh, hey. Hey, Anna. Shout out to Anna Kremling. I saw some of your games today with your mom. That was really nice to see Pia again at the board. And you had so nice understanding in that end game with the bishops. Yeah, I think you largely made all the moves that Pia was having in mind. That was a really nice game against Villa. I think it was like game 2 or 3. Yeah, shout out to Anna Kramling. Some puppies on my face. Yeah, I'm great. I'm great. No? Did she say that that it was not all of them? Oh no. Well, I mean, it's only the big expectations that. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I did not switch to the game. It's only the big expectations of our parents that drive us forward and give us motivation, right? So there is always some space to improve. But you won that game. That was awesome. Because I thought it's going to be a draw. I liked how that H pawn worked out for you. So now we have Scandi. They are playing all different openings so far. Some theoretical duel here. Maybe I can learn from Nikola how to play Scandi. How many Annas in total play chess? Yeah, that was funny when I played with Alex Diablo. His chat kept calling me Anna, and then Alex is like, "Chat, don't be disrespectful. This is Maria," and they're like, "No, they're all Annas to us. If they play chess, they are Anna." Also, hi, Screws. Hi. Yeah, all A. And then they called me Marianna. That was also funny. So, yeah, the idea is to have all Annas playing a hand and brain. Something to think about. I'm not familiar with this opening, to be frank. I personally always play c4 with a Scandi, but now Nikola probably will show us how to play it. f4, actively defending the strong knight on e5. And in case of knight d7, he probably will allow to take and will recapture with the pawn f, semi-opening the file f with nice attacking ideas. Yeah, we are talking about streaming, Annas. That's for sure. Nikola has a nice position, and Dina still needs to solve the development issues. Anna Maya would be the fourth one. So yeah, she definitely needs to develop here, and that she does. Nikola has a 5 idea. No hesitation. I think he is gaining confidence here. He, as I said, in the first 2 games, he was a little bit nervous, probably spent more time than necessary on some moves and ended up blundering at the end. I like this position here. After taking, he will take with the rook. And it's actually, now that I think of it, bishop f4 also looks nice. And the idea is to play knight g6, attacking a rook and a queen. But rook f5 also looks very strong. But it probably does not work now because she also has some g6 or queen c8 attacking a rook. It's not losing, but it's giving her some counter chances. Now it's important to not to blunder the pawn on d4. So simple rook d2 is fine. Or rook d1, sorry. So white has queen g3. The threat is bishop h6. It's interesting that this rook is, well, it's trapped technically, but there is no way of attacking it yet, because after g6, white will pin the pawn on g6 with queen g3. There is always an exchange sack, but you might get a worse position after it. But there is always a sack. If it's a good sack, that's probably the question. The answer is no yet. The thing is, black knights have only one good square so far on d5. And normally you want to trade one of the pieces which is pretending on the same square. So if you have two knights and only one good square for them, you need to trade them. So if we not only sacrifice exchange, but if we trade a piece, we are allowing getting rid of one of the knights for black, which is good for black. So currently the knight on d7 has nothing to do. So if they take, then of course d takes e5 gives big advantage to white. She decided to go to d5 with that knight. Now bishop g5 looks interesting, because if the knight goes to d5, we take, and if the knight takes, then we take on, sorry, we take with this knight, of course. Here we have a bishop. Nikola indeed has more time. This is the first game where Dina might be struggling and trying to find the moves. And now he again has the idea of queen g3 and bishop h6 attacking g7 pawn. He also might play queen h4. And then there might be some sacrificing ideas on f6. For example, after knight d6, we can already take, because after bishop f6, pawn, and rook takes f6, there will be big problems for black and some mating ideas. And thank you, Coltener, for subscribing. Welcome. Nice colors. Thank you, Alper. Yeah, definitely. Now the sack is a thing. It's now or never. If rook goes to f4, the knight jumps to d5. Anna Maya, thank you for the sub. Here she is. Here is one of the 4 beautiful, strong Annas. Nikola, I think he was thinking about this sack, and he probably underestimated the knight d5 idea, because now everything is getting traded and the attack is gone. He has to trade, otherwise he's losing an exchange. Taking on f6 definitely was the best way to continue this attack. And now it's a time scramble. That's why also the taking on f6 was probably, from a human point of view, a good move, even if it doesn't work, because it makes your opponent think and spend time, and they don't have it. It's much more difficult to defend than to attack. He still has some chances here This is a very nice square for the knight. And after c4, the rook can come to e7. Now, of course, there was a threat of rook e8. He, that's a good idea to trade. I will remind you, draw is not an option for Dina. Dina needs to win this game. So she will try to win here. Now after the trade in g5 and knight king d5, I think this might have been a bad decision by Nikola. But after b3, he should be fine. She doesn't have a breakthrough. End game. This is the best chance so far for him to. Oh no. Oh no. He should. I think he. No. Was it a mouse slip? Right. Yeah. He wanted to take, but it was a mouse slip. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, nothing like a mouse slip in the.
It's a mouse slip, right?
Yeah, it's fine. It was.
Oh.
I probably missed the advantage somewhere around the line somewhere.
And even in this endgame, I'm not sure. I'm not sure at all about the evaluation.
Yeah, no, it's just. Anyway, it is what it is. Mouse slips.
Yeah, I think. I think you could have sacrificed maybe when I play 96. I don't calculate exactly, but I think something on like takes on f6.
Yeah, rook f6 might have been the best chance.
Yeah, I looked at it. I didn't have. We're talking about instead of when you put the knight on d6 in this position, it's on my board.
And even after knight c8, maybe you should also consider taking on f6 quality sacrifice.
Yeah. Oh well.
But yes, can calculate till the end.
Okay. Yeah, I actually really like to play the Scandinavian positions, but anyway, that's fine. Time for our next game.
Sure.
Yeah, this looked like. Oops. The thing is, it's a double rook sacrifice. It's a double sacrifice because now he takes with the rook. He is going to mate. So simply bishop h6, queen g4, and mate. And if she takes, then it's over. It's mate in 2 or loss of a queen. But of course, sacrificing both rooks is a bit too much. Dina won. Yeah, Nikola mouse slipped, unfortunately, in probably an equal pawn endgame. Yeah, you can see the score next to their names right there. She's taking on c6 again, but now it's in the right order. After bishop b4, after this move, white has to take on c6 because now the pawn on e4 is hanging, and if we defend with the bishop immediately in this position, then of course the knight is left undefended. That's why we take on c6 first, and then we play bishop g3, and then black sometimes plays castle first, sometimes plays d5 immediately. That's the main idea in this line. And now white is trying to play against the pawn d5 and often play bishop g5 and then queen f3. So sometimes black plays h6, preventing it. And of course, c6 is a necessary move here, but playing castle first and waiting for your opponent's moves is also fine. White needs to play h3 because bishop g4 is an idea, of course, not here. Here, if bishop g4, then bishop takes f6 and black loses a piece. So that's why playing bishop g4 right away is not possible. This is pretty much an equal position because black solved all their problems in the opening. There are ideas of queen g3 and bishop h6 here as well. So he did play h3. Now black can play rook b8, attacking pawn on b2. Simple b3 is fine. In the future, white might go rook d1 and then c4 after relocating of the pieces. The knight sometimes goes to d4, sometimes goes to e3 and then c4. Most important here is to maintain time, and Dina so far is better at it. Yeah, the clock is normally showing the color plus the player below is the same as the player on the board below. So if it's Dina below, then it means we are watching for white and Dina is playing white. But I understand that there might be some confusion because of the cameras. Obviously, I'm not going to change the cameras all the time. And we also decided to watch for white all of the games to make it even. Yes, we have a comment in the chat about a good education, chess education of Dina. She obviously has a classical Soviet school education. You don't become a WGM for no reason. I am not sure where Dina is streaming from, but it does seem like she just moved in because all of her trophies are on the floor behind her. It seems like she is just planning to arrange them nicely, or maybe it's a psychological move to get your opponent scared by putting all of the trophies behind. But I do like this apartment. It looks very French style with tall ceilings. It's nice. So yeah, Nikola is trying to find a plan. So Dina is obviously looking for some attack on the king. It's one of the ideas. Another is just to double the rooks on e file. No, she goes for it. She goes for it. So maybe king h8 or king f8. Do you want to look for Nikola now? Let's look this game for Nikola's side. Yeah, so king h8 seems the most reasonable move because h6 was hanging. He probably needs to bring the knight to f6. I don't think f5 is a threat. d4. He decides to go for counterattack in the center. I don't see how is this a threat. Now simple bishop d5. In case of queen g4, he will play rook g8. Or even queen e5 is fine. And then he wants to play knight f6. Meanwhile, white also gets some dangers on g2 square, plus the e3 square is becoming very weak with this pawn on d4, so she is trying to find a way. So now either queen e5 or rook g8. So rook g8 seems fine. And she cannot take on d4 because of queen g3. Rook needs to be defended first. It's hard to find what to do for white. Their knight is left on the rim, doesn't have any squares, and queen is going to do some damage here. The rook is also trapped with this idea. Actually, I like d4 move now much more. It looked like it was losing a pawn, but the rook on g3 is undefended then. Plus, it has no squares. Now he can bring the rook back to on e8. Since g7 is not attacked anymore. And in case of a trade, she is basically playing a rook down because of her own rook being stuck on g3. He just needs to play faster. Come on, Nikola. Show us. Now rook e3. What will you do after rook e3? It's a pin. It's a pin. She needs to trade queens as soon as possible. Queen f4 is the only way. This he will take, and he can play rook b8 and get into the white's kingdom. Yeah, rook e3 definitely was pinning that rook forever. Yeah, now white has much more moves than before. Before that trade, unfortunately, all the advantage of black is gone. Take, and the pawn is not going anywhere. Trade is fine. Since he's playing, he basically needs to avoid losing. Draw is fine for him. He can even trade pieces here. He could have played queen c5 check to keep the queens on the board and keep checking her. I'm afraid now it's lost. Yeah, the bishop is taking on f7 now. You cannot defend this pawn. And he could not have gone to b5 because of c6. It's not clear how to win, but after g5 and h4 and g5, g4, g5. Under the time pressure, there is still some possibility to swindle, but this seems lost. Yeah, now king can safely go to d5 because there is no check. And after f6, he can probably resign. c6, f6. One knight cannot stop both pawns.
That was a good game. Thanks, Dina. That was a very good game.
I think, yeah, if you do not play d3, yeah, it's...
I ran out of time, unfortunately. That's what usually happens. All right. I'm pretty sure that it was pretty equal until this d3 move.
Yes, I think so. I also, I don't think that you should take on f3, actually. Maybe you should try to reinforce your position somehow. My bishop is very bad.
Yeah.
Your rook was very bad on g3.
Yeah, rook was awful. Yeah, absolutely.
I think on the move 30, if Nikola plays rook e3, you're never going to untangle that pin.
Move 30. Let me go back.
Room 30, which is what?
Yes, rook f3, absolutely.
Rook e3, and if you try to change queens, then you are losing the exchange with
and knight
h5. Yeah.
Knight h5 is coming in anyway. Yeah, agree, absolutely.
Yeah, I
agree.
should have played rook e3. All right, I'm down to last 10 seconds. I need to play faster. Anyway, thanks, Dina.
Yeah,
so
good game.
That's 4-0. Right? Yeah, 4-0. Okay. I'm taking the headset on and let's play the game 5.
Good luck.
Yeah, I know, Sepper, I know, chess noob. It's close, but, you know, close doesn't.
Yeah, but it's easy to say. It's much easier to say than to do to be up on time. Again, we see Caro-Kann and again advanced variation. And now he goes for Tal. He goes for Tal variation, and it's very important to know how to play here. Music issue? I can switch it. You like the 92 more? Actually, recently the D3 variation became very popular in Caro-Kann, where white doesn't play D4 at all. But I know that Nikola knows style variation quite a lot. He's been playing against many streamers with this variation, and I remember him winning against Kale, a very interesting game. He sacrificed a rook and did mate her. Okay, dabbing day. So I think we will have a break after this game, but who knows? This could be also the last game. Any game of this match can become the last. Once Nikola doesn't lose a game, the adoption attempt is over, since adoption match is requiring 10 victories in a row. Without any draw, you cannot stumble. You have to win all 10 games. And so far, she is on 40% of that. The closer you are, the more nervous or maybe more relieved you become. I've never tried to adopt anyone, so I wouldn't know. So far, Nikola had 2 games where he was better. In the last one, he probably was winning if he played rook e3, because white really doesn't have any move. She has to give up an exchange in order to get rid of that pin on g3. See you later, Dirk. Thank you for the gift sub and for being here. Now, if he plays queen g2, he will stop her from castling. Although I'm not sure if black even can castle short side, but after queen d2, it was definitely a threat of taking on h6 once the rook leaves. Nikola can do it. The question is not if he can do it. The question is if he will manage the time while maintaining position in his favor. It is quite a big pressure to not only to play a match, but also play it on stream. I know it very well. I was super nervous in my first matches. I'm still become very nervous. Now he can take a free pawn on a c5. It would pin his pawns, but at the same time, free pawn is a free pawn. So at the beginning of the match, we had about 2/3 thinking that he will avoid the adoption, and 1/3 thinking that he will not. Do you change your mind now, having the 4-0, 4-0, or do you not? I am personally an e4 player. I think taking on h6 was a little bit too too passive. I think that he could have maintained the pressure. Rook g8. Rook g8 and how to win? It feels like black is not going to survive here, but how? c3. And now there is a knight hanging on e5. Oh my god, Screws! Thank you so much for 10 gifted subs. Wow. I think this is a very good chance for Nikola to win the game. Do you want to undo that sub? Oh no, but yeah, white might have needed to do a castle first to defend the king. But it's hard to find what to do. Now bishop e6 is probably winning the game. Bishop e6 and queen e6. And the thing is that the king is still a little bit uncomfortable. Hey, Samis. Rook e5 will be met with bishop takes d7 check. That's the thing. Rook e5, we take the knight with a check, and then we take the rook. So she doesn't have. Ah, you mean if takes? Yes. If takes, yes. If takes, we need to find something else. Ah, yeah. If takes, we play rook g8. This is such an interesting position. Ah, knight d6. Knight d6 is probably winning. And then queen e6 and mate. And mate. This is a mate. And if she plays king d8, then it's knight b7. And if the king to f8, then I think we can play. We simply play rook f7 then. If king f8, then rook f7. And then it's mated into. This is totally crashing. I don't see any defense. Queen e6, and a mate. Either here or here or here. It's a mate. Wow. Wow, this is so beautiful. Wow.
Yeah, congrats.
I was actually waiting for the tile variation already in the first game. because I know how good Nikola knows style variation. So I was just so excited when it finally happened.
Yeah. That was a very nice continuation. I don't know, my position is bad. Maybe I can hang on if I play. Maybe if rook h5 is that bad. Probably something like rook f6.
Yeah, I could not really estimate like how to play. Apparently, computer is recommending to give up the rook and to take the knight on b5 and then take on b2. And probably you have some chances on perpetual there with the queen.
What move?
Like when, I think when queen e3 was played. Yeah, according to the engine, taking on b5 is your best chance. And then if he takes, then you take on b2.
Yeah, I thought about this one. Okay, no, because you sacrifice the quality. Okay. Yeah, probably.
I have a couple of admissions to make. I have actually, Anna Rudolph and I had this, this GH5, Rook G1 with an idea of Rook G7 position in our class 2 weeks ago. And I actually, I have an admission to make. I've actually prepped this style variation with h6 extensively. Because I knew that that's what Dina plays regularly. So
that's a thorough prep.
Yeah, somewhere around the move 16, I thought the position is going to be lost because I wasn't sure. I really wasn't. I saw the rook e5 option right. I almost missed rook e5. In other words, there was a threat that if I was assuming that I could take on e6. And
which move? When you took on e6?
I took on e6, but I was assuming that I can just take with a queen on e6, and that's actually a trap because there is a rook e5, and I only saw it kind of at the last minute.
If you take with the queen, yeah, of course, she cannot play immediately a rook e5.
It's tough. So, okay, so there is obviously adoption has been defeated, but there is a good old tradition in these matches that there is a consolation prize. And I'm gonna do that now. So thank you, Dina, for doing this.
Do we continue till 10 or?
We can. If you want to play more, if you want to have a second try, that's fine with me.
Okay, so that wasn't expected.
Well, when I played Chiu, I defeated adoption in the very first game. So there was a second chance. So if you want to play for a second chance, that's fine with me. If we can also stop now. We can play a couple of more games. It's if you want to play 10 games, that's fine. You'll probably, I'm off a high of defeating adoption, but we can play some more if you want. You want to play half adoption, 5 games?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would you like to have a break before that?
I'm fine. I'm okay.
Okay, I'm fine too. So, okay. Let me disconnect and then let's restart. So we are now doing half adoption, 5 games.
Okay.
I'm asking, I'm not...
Dina wants that option.
Yes, I
you want a
honestly,
second try?
Yeah, sure. Honestly, I was I was expecting to be there 10 games in in any way, but
Okay, yeah, let's do it.
yeah.
We can play 5 more games. Why don't we do this? This is your half adoption challenge.
Sure. Thanks.
And let me say this: if you win the remaining 5 games, your sister doesn't need to sing.
Are you sure that she doesn't want to sing? We will check.
She probably would not offer that if she was not ready.
Okay.
You will choose the song.
All right, sounds like, oh, if I choose the song, I have a really obnoxious song. She sings in French?
She will, I think she will not have any choice.
Okay, I have a song in mind. It's actually what used to be my mother's favorite song. It's Sylvia Vartan's old Nikola song.
Okay, nice choice.
All right, thanks.
Nice.
By the way, the chat had a question, where are you, Dina? And I had an idea that it's in France, but is it in Russia or in France?
I usually keep the suspense in order for my community to get more motivated to watch my streams. So I'll probably stick to this one as well.
Okay.
Okay, so oh my god, I just saw that hashtag Chag raided me with a party of 200. Thank you, hashtag Chaz. I don't know, it was Jesse or who it was, but thank you so much for the raid. As you can tell, I'm still on a high. All right, so send me a challenge. Let's
let's
play some more games. And I'm gonna take this off.
Okay, actually, I am the one who needs a very short break, but I will just get my food right here. So chat, I will be back in a second. Okay, so now they are playing another Scotch variation with the 4 knights. And again, immediately d5. So I think I have a couple of moves to eat my food. I will just mute myself. Yeah, desperate times. Taking on c6 is already essential after bishop b4. Otherwise, you're losing either a knight or a pawn on e4. So taking on c6 here is actually the only way for white to continue playing for advantage. So let me remind you, now after Nikola successfully avoided being adopted by Dina, they decided to continue playing the remaining 5 games, and there is a second attempt to half adopt him. So Dina is trying to win 5 remaining games. Well, Screws, you guys being here is my best overtime compensation. I'm happy to be here. If Nikola does not lose one more game, I believe Dina might stop trying. But we'll see. She's very determined. So I think we already had a similar position where after Nikola played rook b8, there was b3, and so on. But now Dina decides to play actively with c4. d4 is probably a bit premature. Now white gets a chance to play b4, and his d4 pawn is becoming quite weak. Of course, if he had a chance to play c5 immediately, then d4 pawn would be really nice and strong. But now there will be a struggle to keep it alive. So he's deciding to attack this pawn. Now white can either play a3 to defend it, or they can even play b5. And after c5, this pawn on b5 will be very strong and potentially passing pawn. Plus a5 will be weak. That's what's happening. Black's first chance is probably to put the knight on b6, because the knight, as we all know, is the best blocker for the pawn. Plus, it will be looking at the pawn on c4, since it's also going to be a weakness. Now the problem is the pawn on e6 after queen e4. It's not clear how to defend it because there is also queen h7 threat, so rook e8 is losing an exchange, at least. Probably more than that, because after queen h7, king f8, queen to h8, and king e7, there was rook g7. Now this is going to be crushing bishop e4 and bishop d5, and this pawn is hanging. Very weak white squares for black. This is probably losing. Yeah, so now, after moving away the rook, like gets bishop d5, and after king e8, queen takes g7. Giving up an exchange is also an idea, but after taking on a8, white also will play rook g3 and then play rook f3 no matter what. She decided to give a check first to move the king away, but now there is queen f2 check. Queen f2 check, was it an option? Maybe not because the queen will be on f2, not protecting g7, so that's her plan. Now if queen takes, then queen g7. And unfortunately, Nikola is also in a time trouble now. She can go queen g6 and then queen c6, attacking rook and knight. So he probably will go back to g5 to defend the g6 square. Of course, trading the queens is still keeps the advantage, but the white queen is too strong. So she probably will try to keep it. And queen h7 will be followed by rook f7, attacking the knight, infiltrating completely to the king's safety. Oh, pardon me. That was an accident. The best chance for black was probably queen g8 and then rook f7, rook f8. Now she's taking all the pawns and goes with the queen.
Thank you, Dina. That was a good game.
Yeah, that was
very well played.
Better in the opening for me.
Yeah. Yeah, that Scotch is tough.
Yeah, the Scotch, my favorite one.
Yes, I'm supposed to be booked up on that one, but you always manage to.
Yeah, I'm waiting. I'm still waiting for your preparation, the Scotch one.
I don't really. You haven't really run into a preparation with Scotch, so. Actually,
Okay.
you and I played a game when you did the simul, and that was my preparation, and you've won. That was like Karyakin's variation.
Yeah. I remember that one. I remember commentating that game. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, Maria, are you having the next match soon, or tonight? I made no the next broadcast soon.
Tonight it will be my last stream.
Okay, then it's fine. Yeah, because I thought I seen something in the calendar, but yeah, I was afraid that you were were late?
No. We were planning to host a match between Muzyczuk and Kostyniuk, but it was a long time ago, and it was interrupted by the WSCC. So it was just in the calendar by mistake. It's all gone. It's fine.
Okay, perfect. Because I looked at the clock and I thought maybe you don't want to be with us anymore.
No, it's quite enough for me for today. I'm not planning to do anything else.
Yeah.
Okay, then it's perfect.
And it's fairly late for you, Maria. Like
no, it's still fine. Yeah. It's still fine.
All right.
Okay, then let's continue, shall we?
Go. Okay. Okay, wait, you're gonna send me the challenge? Oh yeah, I need to take this off. Hold on.
I see where you're going, Snoop. You're trying to figure out where is she now? My bet is France. We don't have such window covers in Russia. It's definitely not Russia. Yeah, well, I traveled a lot, so I have an eye for places like that. It's either London or France. My bet, and I would go for France. No, probably not London. They also have different ones. They have more of wooden, like the closing ones. Okay, so we have another Caro-Kann, but will we see h4? That's the question. Okay, I'll be back in a second. All right, h5. No, I was back quick enough. I wonder if the white could take on h5. That was interesting. So this is a way to develop the pieces quite fast. But I'm not sure if this will be enough for this sacrifice. Anyway, back to the game. And now a5. Yeah, a5 is obviously allowing for the bishop to stay on b5 basically forever. The evaluation is in favor of Nikola, because it's not so clear what to do with the king here. Black has some problems. The a5, the h5 pawns. Once she castles short side, there are sacrifices with the knight on h5, and probably going for a mate. If she castles this way, the pawn on a5 becomes a weakness, and he can instantly attack it. Also, b4 becomes an option, opening up the lines. So now Dina needs to decide what to do with her king and how to finish her development. So I think at this point, castling short side is definitely off the table. And she also cannot castle long because of the bishop covering up the d8 square. So probably bishop e7 in case of taking her. She has to take with the king, keep her king in the center, but in this case, she can activate her rook and maybe even create some attack on g2 square. Now, Nikola has a move queen b3, which threatens with bishop takes c6, winning the queen because it will be a discovered check. So Dina might have to move her king away already. Maybe taking a bishop now and placing the rook on c5, then bringing up the other rook. I now started to understand his body language. Whenever Nikola has this body language, it means he is liking his position. Queen a3, good move. Now maybe moving the queen over to e3 and threatening with queen g5. I believe after rook c8, white can take. Can they take? Take and then rook to... He took. And now knights... Oh, but this is a mate in one. That's a mate in one. She had to play knight c6.
Yeah,
Such
that
an
was
awesome game again.
Nice masterpiece.
Yeah. Yeah, of
Really
course,
nice
your
masterpiece.
only move is knight c6, but even then,
Yeah.
it's still difficult.
Yeah, it's not easy. It's not
Then
easy.
rook comes to c1, and I guess since there is already a h4 pawn, there is no mate on the first file, so he could even sacrifice the rook for the knight later, and then it's again the same threat of a mate, and it's not clear how to avoid it.
Yeah,
So
I agree.
f6, and then yeah, maybe f6 is the only one. It's not clear how to play then. It's such a beautiful game.
Well, if Dina didn't miss the mate in one, I think that's it. You know, knight and queen are pretty good combo.
Yeah, and there are some concrete problems here. Otherwise, I should be okay.
Yeah. So, okay.
Maybe I should play f6 to try.
F6 immediately might be bad.
Let me see here.
Because after rook fc1, it's not clear how to avoid another mate.
Yeah, I do not threat to,
because king f7, it's rook c7 and then rook g8 mate. Well, it's not immediately mate, but I guess it should be a mate.
Yeah, that's very dangerous situation.
Bishop e8. Yeah, it's bishop e8 mate. That's this pawn on h4 is just.
Yeah, I shouldn't have played rook c8, but anyways, positions seemed very very difficult to defend.
After knight c6, I think you are all right, because now the d4 pawn is hanging.
Okay.
Yeah, probably after rook d1, then f6. And then you're probably fine.
You suggest knight c6 instead of rook c8?
No, after he took on c8. After
knight
that,
c6,
first knight c6 and then f6.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure I should be able to hold this position, especially at that time, but it's definitely not. I don't think it's. I mean, I'll put it through the engine, but
it's balanced.
It's a balanced position. These, you know, if we exchange the knight and a bishop, I think we should be able to hold the position. The best thing I can hope for is a draw, but hey, I'll take a win against Dina any way I possibly can. So, okay, thank you. So let me ask you this: are we asking? And Dina, my brain is still operating variations. I don't think I remember your sister's name.
Asya.
Asya, yes. Yeah, my apologies to Asya.
No problem.
So do we ask now Asya to sing two songs?
Well, the second part was half adoption, so that would mean one and a half.
Half a song.
Half a song? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Very good. And do you want to play any more games, or do you want to stop here? What do you want to do? I mean, I have obviously
I think it would be nice to finish till 10.
Till 10? Okay.
Yeah, 10. But it depends if you guys have time.
Let me put it this way. The purpose of these matches is for me to play against players that are very much stronger than me. So if you want to play 3 more games with me, you are actually doing me a huge favor. So I'm more than happy to play as many games as you want.
Okay, let's do it. At least finishing the
Finish
mathematical number. I don't know.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm taking the headphones off. Okay.
Yeah, we are fine here watching more, right, guys? We're here for the show. You couldn't hear him? That's very odd. Okay, so we are just waiting for the next game to start. Right, there it is. So what is Nikola going to go for now? E5, okay. Is it going to be another scotch? Another scotch, but with Nikola playing black pieces this time. And now he is taking, well, actually black here even can take d6 and force the queen straight. But d5 here is also completely equal for black, and it's a pretty comfortable position. Because the bishop on b4 is already kind of with a lost tempo in another variation that is normally played, bishop b4, knight takes on c6, and then bishop d3. Here, black is saving up a tempo and can go with the bishop to c5 instead. I'm not sure, Screws, if many people know about this community challenge. I was just wondering how many people will notice. Yeah, so now after knight c3, like probably will castle, then h3, can also play first h3 and then knight c3. So Dina is deciding the order of moves. c4, aggressive. And after dc4, what do you do? Because he wants to, if the bishop is trying to pin this bishop, the white is actually losing a piece. So yeah, currently the bishop is pinned, but once the bishop leaves this file, Dina will take the queen on d1 after rook d1. Sorry, Nikola, of course, will take on d1, and then bishop takes c4. So yeah, he could have taken on c4 as well. And c4 is normally not played by white here. Now white needs to play h3 to prevent bishop going to g4. Yeah, exactly. If you reach the goal, then we will have the stream of marbles. Knight g4 is very dangerous here because of f2 being undefended right now. The rook will have to defend it, and then queen goes to d6, attacking h2. I'm afraid the points are not going to be refunded. It does not work this way. I am not tricky at all. It's just a side option. It's up to you guys. Oh, but this might be losing a piece after 94. Ah, no, 94, bishop e4. Yeah, this is pretty equal. Oh no, did Anna-Maya retire from marbles? That's such a shame. We need to get her back. What? Ah, Jackbox. Jackbox is fine. I accept that. I accept that alternative. I will be faithful with marbles. It's good to divide and conquer, right? Knight has a pretty nice position on c5 now. Of course, pawn on c7 and a7 both are little weak islands, which white probably will now try to push on after knight a4, with black having to defend it. And knight cannot go to d5 because then immediately the pawn on h7 is lost. Now the knight is going to a4 even with the tempo. Of course, taking c7 immediately is a mistake because then bishop on d3 is suddenly undefended. So first she will go rook d1. Unfortunately, Nikola is in a time scramble again. Now she can safely take on c7 and can go back to g3, offering a queen trade, or even take on a7 if black will allow to do so. The knight g4 is not really a threat because after g3, no, h3. h3. Yeah, you should be a bit careful with the f2 pawn. Now h3, f2 is defended. So queen is defending this. So now she can play knight c5, bring knight back to play. Also taking on c7 is fine. Nikola is speeding up. Yeah, it's tough to play when you have just 3 seconds left on your clock. Oh, that he blundered an rook. Should have played rook d3. Rook d3 was fine.
Thank you, Dina. That was. I really wish I had a little bit more time here. It was an interesting.
Yeah, I absolutely. I definitely like my white openings more than my black ones in this match.
Yeah, I think I need to figure out that Scotch. I really didn't have much of a play in any of the white games. Your white games, my black games. So, okay. All right. Well, good game. It was interesting. I wanted to play it as a martial attack, but it didn't work out. So, good game, Dina. Let's continue.
Yeah, that was a nice one. Okay, let's do it 2 more.
Hey, Reckless Fury. So twice Nikola already avoided adoption and normal adoption and half adoption. Now they're just finishing the 10 games more as a practice. And maybe Dina is trying to reveal some more prep that Nikola did against her. Two more games. Hey, Alone. And we start. So your what's your bet, guys? Is she going? She's going for Scandi. She doesn't like the Caro-Kann against Nikola. I can totally understand. He is very well prepared with the tally variation. Wow, B4. Okay, I think he was studying a lot of Scandi ideas. I think the best for black is to take. Otherwise, it's a lot of positional advantage for white in the future, leaving the pawn on b4. Now the knight is also developing with the tempo, and then after bishop b2 or bishop, you can develop either of them. After bishop b2, there will be also a nasty idea with the knight going to a4 or to b5, attacking the queen, and c7 square. d4 also kind of a good move, and then he goes for b5. Nikola keeps impressing with his deep opening prep. It's very hard to play against a move like that without knowing this opening specifically. There are many tricks. Indeed, white already has 3 pieces developed against 1. Queen had so many moves, and black does not even have a pawn compensation because she refused to take on b4. Good view on the way, yeah. The queen, the discoverer. a4, I'm not sure about this move, a4. I think white needs to take advantage of better developed pieces of the b file, and the pawn on a2 was well defended. On a4, it might get an easy target of the knight going to b6, for example, attacking it. And now Dina also has a move bishop b4, and if he takes, her pawn will go to b4, taking away a square from the white knight and also bringing the pawns together. Easiest is to take on d6 and maybe bringing the rook to b1. He's not afraid of bishop a6. I would not allow the bishop on a e2 to be traded with the bishop c8. That was a very passive piece. So again, same ideas. She can put the bishop on b4, forcing to accept the trade, maybe. Now bishop a6, same idea again. And Nikola has to take on f6 or play queen e3. So black at some point will probably play c5. trying to disturb these two pawns. So Nikola decided to play c5 himself. But that means the rook on b4 might become untouchable. And also giving up a pawn. I did not even notice that. Yeah, I think maybe here already it was necessary to take an f6 first with check, so that there is no pin. Now if she plays queen d8, yeah, he has to... Oh, but queen d4, oh. He blundered the pawn, and she can just keep the pawns going, because this knight on g5 has no threat to black. Of course, she's not gonna take h takes g6. Here, black can defend using the queen or the rook, going to b7. Here, maybe white needs to take this pawn. Still, it's three pawns for black. And sooner or later, this pawn or this pawn will start running. Now, if black just brings the knight back to the game, they will be winning. Very active position for black. Yeah, rook b2. And then king will be very uncomfortable here. And now it's Nikola who has the rook trapped on h3 with his own play. Now the knight is pinned. So how to bring this rook back to the game? This knight is pinned. e5, e4 is a real threat here. Maybe h3 and rook g4 is a way to untangle the rook. Otherwise, white is completely defeated here. c4, c3, c2. Yeah, Nikola probably was too disgusted with this.
Yeah, you probably should not lose on time here. Maybe try something, some tricks, a few more.
No,
It's hard to play with the rook trapped
Wait,
on
let me-
g3.
Yeah, sorry.
I missed something here. I kind of thought that I have a pretty good position out of opening.
What move? What move do you think?
I am pretty sure that I'm probably at move 7. With all the tempi I gained, I should have probably been a little
yes,
bit
in the
more
opening,
aggressive.
yeah.
Yeah, of course, you have so many developed pieces.
Too low. Sorry, guys. Okay, I hope this is better now.
Yeah, this position is very dangerous for black. I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
I missed something here. So anyway, it's fine. I'm gonna. All right. So last game.
Yeah, last game I'm having white. Luckily, or unluckily, we shall see.
Well, we'll see. I think
Depends what is the opening, right?
Yeah.
I think I know what I'm gonna play.
Okay, I'm daring to see that.
Very good.
No, dying to see that. I think
Thanks.
that's the better one.
All right. Thank you, guys. I'm muting myself.
Hey, white noise. Hi. How are you? You know what? I just was thinking of switching the music to something better. And so now I'm gonna do that. So this is the last game of the match, with Nikola already successfully being not adopted. The result is pretty awesome still, 7-2, but he did win 2 games. But that was an adoption match, so. So he won technically. Oh, okay. King's Gambit. She definitely did not expect that. Okay, that is gonna be interesting. He definitely was winning in at least one more, probably 2. So Dina is already thinking for over a minute. Obviously, there are 2 moves, generally. Taking on e5 or taking on f5. And d3 is avoiding all the difficulties of the tactics, obviously, for which Nikola is ready. So Dina decided to go for defense. She's actually defending with white right now. Denied, yeah. You all were excited, right, guys? Gambits are always exciting. Yeah, King E2 definitely would leave Nikola out of the book, but I'm afraid then Dina will crush him. I mean, no, of course, Nikola would crash. Now I'm already saying wrong things. I think my music is a bit too loud. I've never played Bone Cloud, neither have I been played against with a Bone Cloud, so I guess it's still yet to come my way. Screws, you're right. I actually do have a adapter which makes it dance for music, but the problem is I need to put the music on loud and on speaker, which makes it difficult to make uh, collaboration streams because then there will be an echo. And also it makes it difficult to stream late in the night. But I can manually change the lights, like now. Yeah, I wish they had an adapter which you could plug into your computer, but these things that don't exist yet for some reason. Yeah, I also have, actually, this is a cat condo. You see? So you have Twitch pillow, a chessboard, and sometimes cats, if we're lucky. Watch them dance manually. Well, I can create something that will change automatically. Requires some work. So currently I'm just doing like my own thing. No, I don't think cats are bothered by that. They just like to be social with each other. And at the same time, if one cat comes to the condo, other cats are trying to like chase her away from there. Yeah, I personally like the pink one mostly. Yeah, let's drop that topic. If Dina doesn't want to be found, it's fine. I honestly don't understand much what is happening on the board. So let's just enjoy this interesting kings. Well, it's Latvian Gambit, actually. That's how it's called, but I guess it was a denied one. Denied Gambit. Yeah, I know what you mean, totally. Huh. I like this color even more, actually. This looks nice. I can make it like this. So pretty equal now. But what to do with these pawns? Now white is going to probably trade the queen with queen e4 to get rid of the active piece and then start harassing these pawns. Interesting idea to put the pawn on f3. The problem is that black probably is not in time to defend it with the run. Also, after h3, white will oops, she blundered on h1. Yeah, this is resignable after rook e1 e8. Black is going to mate, probably. There are some chances now to avoid a loss. Because after queen takes c6, Dina is threatening with a mate. And I think Nikola has to force a perpetual. Because now when he plays rook d8, there will be check, check, perpetual. So it might be a first draw in this match. The first and the last draw. Yeah, she definitely found the only option to save this game. Oh, now it's a mate. Now he returned a favor. Now he returned a favor. So the favor returned.
All right, my turn.
I think you're still muted.
All right.
Yes, sorry.
Okay, my turn
Sorry.
to blunder a checkmate. Okay.
Yeah, it's a nice swindle here. I think you have to take a draw now.
Yeah.
Playing like
That's
rook
fine.
d8 and it's
Yeah,
queen
it's
a8,
just-
queen d5.
Yeah,
Perpetual.
that's fine. It's
How you say the best would be rook instead of rook takes h2?
Rook d8 is probably the only
Okay.
way to
Yeah.
avoid the mate.
yeah. Anyway.
But
Then you can
can I
just
still
repeat.
can I play queen a6 and rook e d4? Does it give me something or not really? Queen a6.
So
Yeah, I just needed to play king d5.
well,
Queen
he's
d5
running
as
away, I
opposed
guess,
queen
to
f2. It's
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Probably.
yeah, rook d4, king
No,
e7.
maybe he's not running. How is he running?
King e7,
King e7, rook e4.
Yeah.
And
king f8,
king f8.
hiding on h7. Yeah.
That's true.
So you have to take a draw at this point.
That's fine. Well, let me put it this way: I owed Dina a blundered mate, so that's
yeah,
paid.
returned favor.
That's fine.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, that's fine.
So we didn't have a half adoption. You avoided all the attempts.
Actually, yeah, I think so, right? But well, Dina won the last 3 games or 4 games, but let me
Well
just
done.
well, thank you. No, but Dina played really well, and very honestly, I have never felt like I felt in Dina's scotch. Like it's an equal position, but you don't have a chance from the opening. It's like her handling of Scotch is something that she really should have a masterclass about.
With black, you mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
So Dina, if you want to do a masterclass about how to beat your opponents with Scotch,
with white, but then Dina is giving away her best chance to survive with black against Scotch.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm not sure if I should open up all my preparation secrets.
Yeah, shooting your leg, you're shooting yourself in the foot, right?
Yeah, but what I can do for sure for our next match, if that one ever comes around, that's to fix my black openings, even if in any case I should do that. So thank you, Nikola, for showing me my weaker sides. I owe you this one, because I can feel that one day in a year or two, when the tournaments will be back, I will need to be better prepared in that Scandinavian Huracan.
That Botvinnik Karls is that you play in
Sorry,
Caro
guys.
and let me say this: I will never be even remotely as strong as Dina is, so it's obnoxious to say this. But that Botvinnik Karls that you play is it's definitely easier to handle than Scotch. You
mean in the Caro-Kann line?
Yes, the E5, C5. Yes.
C5. Okay, yeah. I had this feeling that was the best I could get playing against you.
Oh, thank you.
Comparing. So that's interesting.
Yeah, and well, let's put it this way: I'll prep more Latvian Gambit.
Yeah, the F5. At the moment you play
definitely
F5,
did not expect that.
No, not at all. And what's
spent a good minute thinking of it, and then went for the safest one.
Sure.
Absolutely not. But the problem is that absolutely the moment that you played that F5, I actually got my usual disconnection, 2 seconds, and my stream crushing.
Yeah, I saw that. Yes.
I had to restart it again, and then the moment I get back to the board, I see F5, and I'm like, oh my god, okay, but I better go back to my OBS, because either way, I'm not sure that I have the answer immediately on this one.
Fine. Well, yeah, and that B4 is actually in Scandinavian is actually fairly tricky if one doesn't know.
Yeah. I have a friend of mine who is very common guest on my streams. 2700chess.com. He usually plays me this one, so I felt kind of deja vu in a bad sense here.
So maybe you should study with him how to play it.
Absolutely, we'll do that. I think we'll be able to do that on stream as well.
Yeah, Nikola, I'm ready to offer my help with trying to prepare against the Scotch with white, because I always also have difficulties playing white if the opponent simply knows how to play Scotch with black, the classic 4 knights.
No, the truth be told, I'm actually reasonably theoretically prepared in Scotch, but Dina always manages to win. And her positional sense is obviously on a level of an open GM, so it's hard to play. So anyway, I managed to swindle my way out of avoiding adoption. That's how I feel about it. So
3 times.
Actually, twice.
Twice, well, almost. If there was another game, then Dina had a chance to do half adoption, because it's 4 in a row.
Right, yeah, that's true. That makes 3.
Okay. So when can we expect Isia to sing?
All right, so we have already a stream planned together, which will be on 15th of July.
Okay.
I believe 7 p.m. Central European, which makes 1 p.m. Pacific, Eastern time. And that stream is already scheduled, so you're more than welcome, both of you, by the way.
I will, I'm going to run by Maria the song I have in mind, just to make sure it's not too obnoxious.
I'm flattered that you think that I'm the best person to judge that.
So, all right, Dina, thank you so much for the opportunity to play against you. I'm not gonna say that I am not happy that I didn't get adopted, but I think the games were very useful, and I can only benefit from playing games with somebody as strong as you. So thank you.
Thank you too. That was a pleasure for me playing against you, and I'm definitely not ready yet to become a parent. I need to study some more psychology, children's psychology, and all.
Having seen your apartment behind you, I'm like, that may not be a bad place to get adopted into.
Especially all that trophies. I wonder if Dina especially brought all of them to just press you psychologically with all these trophies.
Well, if that's the case, then I've been doing it since 1 month now. So maybe okay. Long-term psychological preparation for that day when we play against Nikola.
Okay. Who is gonna keep streaming?
I will probably stay around to chat a little bit with my community.
Okay. Yeah, and I would actually like to stay on for a couple of more minutes. Just I want to show some variations with my guys. So why don't we do this? It's probably going to be a quick 20-minute analysis. So Maria, you're done for the day?
Yeah, I will just say a couple of words to my chat as well, and then
okay. So why don't we disconnect? I'm gonna keep streaming. You raid me, and then I'm gonna raid Dina when I'm done. How's that?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure. Let's do that.
If I finish before, then I will raid you as well.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, and thank you so much, Maria, for a wonderful commentary and keeping active both of our channels where we were concentrated.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, that was also a pleasure to watch this fantastic theoretical battle. It's really always really cool to watch such a good preparation, because Nikola always does very thorough preparation to his opponents, and you can clearly see that he knows the lines. So
yeah, and I need to figure out how to win games with a rook up. That's kind of a weakness, but that's a story for another stream. Thank you.
Something tells me that this might be more complicated than figuring out how to defeat the Scorch and etc.
Yes.
Especially that you are not giving so many chances to practice with an extra rook normally.
Exactly.
Thank you. Thank you again.
Yeah, congratulations, Nikola.
Thank you.
Again.
Thank you, Dina. Thank you for the opportunity. We'll be in touch. Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Hey guys, all right, so thank you for staying with us. I kind of wish I didn't lose that very last game. Let me just adjust my layout real quick. Just bear with me. It's gonna be basically, we're gonna do a special version of my best losses. Let me just do this real quick. Bear with me while I adjust this. And hold on. Okay, first, let's do this. I actually want to show you a couple of preparation items that came up in this match. And this is going to be, let's see. I'm going to call this. Hey, Venkarski, thank you for the follow. Very greatly appreciated. Thank you so much. So this is going to be, I'm going to call it my best losses on Sunday today. And okay, done. And we're going to call it match with WGM. Dina Belenkaya. I'm gonna add the camera in a second. Hey Everett Will, good to see you. Okay. Thanks. So okay. Oops. this Dina's name is long. And let's do the chess.com. Okay, we're gonna do the blah 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 chess.com. That's good. We're gonna and this, oops, let me just adjust this real quick. Bear with me, just 2 more seconds. And I have to say, one thing that was really tough in this match was Dina's handling of Scotch is second to nobody's. It was so hard to play against her. All right, so let me start a new meeting. And there you go. So I'm here. This is the match. I'm joining with computer audio. You guys can hear me. So, well, my best losses is the title of my Monday stream. So this is normal. So you guys can see the board. Here is the analysis. Hey. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Sepper. That's very greatly appreciated. You guys can see me, and you can see the. Thank you, Screws. That's very. Maria, kudos to. Thank you, Maria, for the raid with a party of 69. Quick shout out to PhotoChess. And yeah, Vencharski, I grew up in Serbia. I've been living in New York for 25 years, since 93, but I grew up in Serbia. I grew up in Belgrade, to be more specific. First, I want to show you let me find a couple of games. By the way, it was stupid of me to blunder a rook. This was supposed to be an easy win. That's actually something I need to work on. Hey, e4, bc4, queen qh5, qf7. Thank you for the follow. That's very greatly appreciated. All right, so let me just adjust the layout so we can have the analysis board. And I want, yeah, this was just very badly played on my part. I think another element is I was kind of already tired. And, the f5 is actually a pretty good. Hey, Anamaya, good to see you. Thank you. Thank you for joining us. Let's find a game that the last game I played it as white. It's this one. I just want to share with you. This was a little bit of a trick that's actually pretty good in opening. I don't even want to look what this says about the analysis. All right, so here, e4, d5, and then take on d5. Queen takes on d5, knight c3, queen a5. So this is a normal Scandinavian defense. Playing b4 is actually a very useful trick. I think Eric Rosen did a video on it. And I kind of knew that Dina plays Scandinavian online, so I basically kind of Anamaya, who is making you sick? What is chat doing to you? They are okay. Don't let them get to you, please. Anyway, so b4 is a tough move because if black takes, then there are a couple of options that white can proceed. It can play in an attacking move in which you play rook b1, and then whenever queen moves, you eventually move the rook to b3, and then you swing over rook to h3 and participate in some sort of attack. Dina, thank you for the raid. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for the match. And thank you for the raid again. It was amazing playing with you. That's very greatly appreciated. I'm just showing you my chat the whole the Scandinavian defense. Welcome, Raiders. It's good to see you guys. So that's one option, but this is something that, instead of playing rook b1, the tricky move here is to play, rook knight b5, which is actually considered a bad move by the engine, but it's pretty dangerous because it threatens c7. And if black plays queen a5, which is a normal move in this position, then there is a nasty trick that I can guarantee you guys are going to catch someone playing, which is bishop c4, and which is again inaccuracy. But here is the trick. If black plays some normal move, any kind of normal move, you have the trick is, for example, plays c6 or plays bishop c7 or whatever you want. Here is the trick. You can play bishop c7, okay? And then if white takes, you can play queen h5. And after queen h5, where does the king go? If it goes, if your opponent push g6, you have a very nice trick with knight on d6. And, after black takes, queen is gone. And even if your opponent doesn't end up playing it, I have discovered that lots of players do not want to get into that. And it basically puts a Scandinavian player into a difficult situation. And, Dina actually didn't want to go into that variation because he basically didn't know what there might be in store. So she played queen e5. And, so that's one nice trick against Scandinavian if you ever run into it. And very frankly, I kind of prepped this for this match because I noticed that Dina plays Scandinavian online as her openings, and this was kind of part of the prep. Anyway, so that's one thing that I wanted to share with you. And second is, let me find the game, blah, 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 where is this? Dina played, okay, I actually won this game, so I'm not sure I actually want to show this. Yeah, okay, I can show you guys this. Dina plays something that's called a Botvinnik-Karls gambit, which is e4, c6, d4, d5, e5, c5. And I have discovered as a part of preparation that my favorite move in that position is actually this knight e2 move. Why? Because it deprives black of its common plan, which was to put, to pin this knight on g4. If you ever play against Caro-Kann, this is a very dangerous opening because if she c5, it's c3 is actually not a good move because it takes you into a not a very good variation of it. So the variation I kind of liked and actually ended up not playing here is you want to take on c5 and then basically surrender the pawn on e5. So that was very good. And so in other words, if you play against Caro-Kann, lots of tricky players play this Botvinnik-Karls gambit, and I like the knight e2 move because if you black plays knight g4, then you can decide what you do with the knight, and on top of it, this knight really belongs on f4 or g3, so you can push the pawns further at. Dirke, I won The score of the match ended up being 8-2 in Dina's favor. I defeated adoption twice. I probably should have won the last game, but I'll take 8, avoiding adoption twice against, thank you, dear kid, that's very greatly appreciated, against somebody as strong as Dina any day of the week, and twice on Sunday. So anyway, what was difficult in this match, and I'm just going to run it very briefly, I'm actually going to analyze and see, is that Dina completely killed me in an opening that I thought I knew, which was the Scotch. I played this against Dina at least 5 times, once before, and 4 times in this match, and the score is actually adoption in Dina's favor, because this is supposed to be a better position for black, okay? Or computers overestimates the position, but this should be an equal position, and black should be able to salvage a draw. My homework, very honestly, is, and I'm booked up on this, yet nevertheless Dina managed to outplay me in this particular opening, 5 times. So time for me to, and obviously, I messed this up. I was kind of hoping I can fight with the 2 passed pawns here and so on. I didn't play this very well, but that's really not the issue. The issue here is that we had, and I had the same problem in the match against Chiu. We contested this position, which is supposed to be equal, if not slightly better for black, 5 times, and I lost every single game. So message to, note to self, learn how to play this particular opening, and and go from there. All right, so just really wanted to share this with you guys. I am there is a trick here in Fair Twitch that may or may not be, if you castle, then frankly, in a 5+2 game, I don't want to calculate, and this is not possible in this position, something along the lines of knight takes on d5, which is obviously not possible here, and then open check on h7. Hey, Samsonite 220. So I actually prefer to play c6, which is, I don't think it's actually a bad move. The computer counts it as a best move. It's like kind of the theoretical move. So memo to self, figure out how to play Scotch opening. I think this is where the true class of players like Chiu and Dina Belenkaya lies. They are very strong positional players, and I have a very hard time playing against it. I mean, my best black game, actually the game that frankly I should have won, the only game in which I had the chance, and look at this, it's 84. My accuracy is actually better than hers, not that it means anything to anybody. But look at this, it was, come on, do you really need it to do this to me? Sorry guys, let me just hit the get into analysis board. Okay, so, it was the freaking Letonian Gambit, which is a horrible opening, but there you go. To paraphrase my great friend and coach Mara Esserman, it's almost playable. So, anyway, bottom line, improve your positional skills and, figure out how to, this was, I mean, she even gave me a rook, for crying out loud, and I managed to mess this up. That's fine. I mean, I owed her a blundered mate to begin with. and I'm not complaining about missing the adoption. I really want to see how I could have said this. So I needed to play rook dd8 here, and then basically allow her a perpetual. Okay. Oh well, that's fine. I owed Dina a blundered mate in one. I'm not. So basically, rook dd8 was saving the game. I should have seen this. Anyway, guys, I'm going to analyze some games from this match tomorrow, and I'm going to analyze another game that I played recently. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you staying with me, and I'm very grateful for poor Dina and Maria for helping make this happen. Here is one thing. Thank you, Chesnoob KZ. Thank you for being here, and thank you for the congratulations. I don't think Dina prepared for the match. I'm pretty sure that our next opponent, who is Alessia, a week from today, is actually going to prepare. So I think next week I'm going to find myself for the first time in a situation that the opponent is better prepared than me. Chess Virus 2020, this channel has 3 regular streams every week. The regular schedule is my best losses Mondays that's at 8 p.m. every Monday. That's 8 p.m. New York time, Eastern Daylight Time. Then there is a match, then there is my lesson with Anna Rudolph. That's on 5 p.m. every Wednesday. Nikola learns chess with Anna Rudolph. And finally, there are these matches that happen every Sunday at noon. So, Anamaya, something tells me that there won't be any grubs next week. I'm pretty sure Alessia is going to have a surprise in store. I can almost guarantee you that. So, anyway. So, Alessia is next, noon next week. I am going to see you guys again in about, tomorrow. And yes, Chess Virus 2020 with Anna Rudolph. It's every Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern. Thank you guys for showing up. Thank you for the stream. Thank you for the support. And let's see who we're gonna raid. Thank you, Dirkia. Thank you so much. So okay, we are going to. I think Chiyu is actually streaming chess, so we're gonna send a raid to AK Nemsko. She's actually, I think, analyzing all price subs. So. Send my regards to Chiyu. Thank you, Screws. Thank you, and have a great Sunday. And we'll see you guys soon. Bye. All right. So, thank you. Thank you, Famous Wizard. Thanks to Chess Noob. Thank you, Screws. I'm looking forward to the next time we see each other. Bye.